Alright, so we're here at Osan Air Base in South Korea. We're going to take this King Air and we're just going to fly around low level and see some stuff. I'll just narrate and start talking about the area. I've lived here for a couple years and bike and run all over the place, so I've got a pretty good understanding of where things are. Not to mention, Korea's a pretty small country. So, this is actually a pretty good rendering of Osan, minus the lack of aircraft on the ramp. Let's see, I'm seeing here, this would be like the mobility warehouse or AMC hub warehouse where they've got the pallets and cargo they have to load from here onto the cargo jets. This ramp here, you usually have like a couple big cargo jets there, C-17, C-5s, and so on. You might see like a chartered 777 or 747 out here as well. This would be the passenger terminal, and out here you'd have like the control tower and base ops. This would be the Port Dogs AMS facility. These buildings don't exist. This is like the main road that people go in and out of the base from the main gate. Yeah, this is like a running trail that goes along the flight line. Of course, there's a fence here. You can't just like run onto the flight line. That would be the Pass and ID Center. There's the main security forces entryway shack. You got like the Songtan Entertainment District is over here, and the city of Pyeongtaek's over here. So yeah, that's a decent rendering. For all the OPSEC-minded folks out there, this is all open source. I mean, for one, it's in Flight Sim, and two, Google Maps displays the same information, so we're not breaking any OPSEC laws here. And yeah, not bad. Alright, we're going to get started with pre-flight very quickly here. Battery on, master avionics on, pretend the generator's on, engine start, or auto ignition on, strobe light for engine start will be on, throttles to idle, put the feather knobs to the first detent, and we'll go ahead and start the left. Let's see, what's the caution? No pitot heat. Turn off the left starter, we'll turn on the right engine. I'm not going to sit here and wait for all the engines to show in the green. It's Flight Sim and I don't have any failures programmed, so we'll just assume that the engines are good. We'll obviously read off our cautions and warnings. Alright, kill the right starter. We'll go ahead and set flaps for takeoff. We'll set up the autopilot, the yaw damper, click that on. Altitude, I'm going to fly to pretty low, 3,000 feet. Heading, we're going to do runway heading. Oops, sorry, that was altitude knob. Heading, we'll do runway heading. Should be 27. Climb out, we'll do pretty sporty climb out, 1,200 feet per minute. That is set up. Let's go ahead and we're gonna land. We should be landing at Gimpo. I think it's 35 right. Which is 110.7. Now we'll plug that into our compass rose bearing indicator. Alright, that's set up, flap set up. Let's go and turn our lights on. We're going to turn takeoff and taxi lights on now since it's a very short taxi to the runway. So this ATC acts like it's an uncontrolled field, where in fact it is controlled, so I'm not sure why they do that. I'm going to go put prop levers full forward. We'll go to high idle. We don't need to be in high idle for takeoff, but it's a very short flight, so we'll just leave high idle on. We need that for landing. Wait for the engines to calm down. Alright, for takeoff, probably just going to leave the yoke off because it gets in the way of me seeing the landing gear lever. And disengage the parking brake, we'll taxi out. Call for takeoff.
Closing traffic N236 MJ, Juliet 12 tree, taking off runway 27 right, departing straight out.
Alright, final check. Lights on. Flap set for takeoff. Prop levers, condition levers full forward. Autopilot set. Alright, we're good. Looking for 105 knots for takeoff. Alright, gears coming up. And flaps are up. Go and click on the autopilot. And we're going to turn towards the south. We'll see Humphreys. Humphreys is this large army base directly to the south of Osan. We'll go take a look at that. Let's go and turn our lights off. Put the yoke back on.
Incheon Center N236 MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree is Tech Beechcraft King Air 4 miles south of Osan, 1,900 feet. Request flight following.
N236 MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree Incheon Center. Clock 0177. N236 MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree radar contact 12 miles north of Korea.
Alright, so this is Humphreys. This is actually a pretty good rendering of Humphreys. Again, all open source, available on Google and Flight Sim. I bike around the whole base. Here is the shop at and large gas station. I usually get off my bike or get on my bike and I ride this road right next to the flat line. I swing around here. I go past the hospital. I make a right turn, and I do this curve, make a right turn, right up past the commissary and the BX. Take a right around the golf course, and then I take a right here, and I shoot down this road and complete a loop. I want to say one loop is 13 miles, but yeah, pretty good rendering of Humphreys. Turn back towards Osan. There's the base pool. They got like a water park built here for the families, and out here is like the walk-in gate, and this is like their ville or their entertainment district, if you will, where all the soldiers get in trouble every night. Just kidding, the airmen get in just as much trouble, it seems. It's one of the largest bases I've ever seen. Humphreys is just massive. Alright, we're going to head up north back towards Osan and see what we can see over there. Alright, once we get closer, I'll probably use some active pause to point out some landmarks. This is a huge Samsung factory, recently built. Actually increased the housing prices of all this area here because so many employees moved in. Alright, without giving too much away, my apartment complex is somewhere here, and one of the many routes I take to get to the base is I head down this road. There's a bridge here, which actually terminates here, and then I make a right, and you make a left into this rather wooded area. This little tiny, crappy 2-lane road, actually quite dangerous. And you get here, you go up a hill, and you come out. Let's see where we are. Actually, I probably need to fly a little closer to take a look at the base.
N236 MJ Mike Juliet, 123 contact Seoul, approach 119.75.
Alright, so yeah, you come along this road and then you enter in through the Korean gate, which is here. And then this is the Korean Air Force headquarters building, I believe. They have a big soccer field and like marching ground right here. This is interesting. They've actually got the static display rendered in here poorly. That's a lineup of airplanes used in like some previous conflicts, Korean War, etc. You head down here, and then you hit this. You hit a big roundabout, which is that thing. Looks like a fighter pilot with his mask on. And then you take a left. You hit the golf course, and you go up into the Osan area. You can either go right or you can go left. Down by the gym. There's the base pool. Let's see. That's the BX right there. It's one of the feature landmarks. And you got Chili's and E Club and O Club. Or O Club, E Club. Yeah, not a bad running. There's the football field for the middle high school. Out here would be like the main gate. And you'd have the city of Pyeongtaek, the entertainment districts over here. Yeah, that's not a bad rendering. And then my apartment complex is over there. You've got the city hall area here. It's like you actually got city hall rendered. City hall areas right there. It's pretty good. Yep, not bad. And then we'll basically start flying. This is the road. The main road goes through Pyeongtaek City, and then this road goes all the way up to Seoul. So we're gonna head up that way. Let's see what we can see. I'm gonna increase speed so we can get there a little faster. So that over there, characterized by the 3 runways parallel with each other, you've got Suwon Air Base. This is a military airfield. And then you've got Osan right there. And though they look like they're very close together, it's like a 45 minutes to an hour drive because, like most things in Korea, the distance is short, but the driving time is heavy because of traffic. Volume of cars and small roadways. And city of Suwon over here, and this should be Yongin, city of Yongin. Looks like Suwon's baseball stadium up there. Alright, we are entering a very fluent area of Seoul, probably the nicest place to raise a family, in my opinion. This area is called Songnam, and this city here is called Pundong. It's actually where my wife is from. Very affluent area, a lot of money there. It's like their version of Silicon Valley. You got Naver and Kakao and a bunch of other tech companies that call this their home. Poorly rendered here. This is Seoul Seoul National University Bundang Hospital. SNU is like their version of Harvard. It's the hardest institution to get in, and they've got a really nice medical facility here. I got surgery there. It was quite the experience to get treated there. The nurses and doctors treated me very nicely. State of the art. The room I got operated in looked like, something off Star Trek. But yes, this is Bundang. They've got this canal that runs through it, and they've got parks and trails all along the side, and even like putting greens for people who like to play golf. Although most of the sidewalks are lined with what we have for running tracks in the States, so it's nice and cushioned and absorbs water. There's not even any power lines present. Everything's built on the ground, infrastructure-wise, for optics and aesthetics. But it's a very nice city. Never see any litter. Never see any graffiti. No homeless people. It's really impressive. We're gonna turn north towards Seoul. Alright, so that main road I told you about that goes through Pyeongtaek City, that extends into a highway, and you go up to Seoul this way. This is the main artery into Seoul, which is annoying because you go through this valley where you start getting bumper-to-bumper traffic, and then you go right to the middle of Gangnam to hit everything north of the Han River. There are limited roadways going up this way. They're smaller roads, so really if you want the highway, and this is actually the fastest way, you have to go up to this way. I don't know why they didn't build another toll road. Hitting this way would be really convenient. Right, this big green thing is Lotte World, this huge indoor theme park. Easy to spot because you've got these, what's green? Big green dome, and you've got these two kidney-shaped man-made lakes here. That's supposed to be Seoul Tower, the largest, tallest building in Seoul, because FlightSim doesn't program in large buildings, probably so you can't practice flying into them. It's replaced by this short, stubby building here, but this is actually a huge skyscraper. Lotte World's this gigantic indoor kids theme park. It's really nice. And there is COEX Mall, this gigantic, I think it's the largest mall in Korea, but it's got like, huge movie theater and an aquarium, every shop you can think of. Really nice indoor mall. Alright, we're going to turn towards Seoul Tower. This is Jamsil Sports Park. It's a baseball stadium co-shared by LG Twins and Doosan Bears. And that's actually a soccer field. I think they mixed these two up. That's the baseball stadium, that's the soccer field. Another shot of COEX Mall there. This is Yoido, very fluent business park type of area. This is the big park that really looks beautiful during the springtime with the cherry blossoms, and Koreans will come here and walk along this. And there's a park here where you can see the cherry blossoms, and people like to camp there. They've got like small camping sets meant for day use only. You just sit there and you eat lunch, and you can order like ramen. They'll give you a Bunsen burner. You can burn ramen or cook ramen right here. Look at the view of Han River. It's really nice. Alright, this is supposed to be Seoul Tower. Again, they didn't render it in for security reasons, I'm guessing. But it's one of the trademark landmarks of Seoul. And we're actually going to turn more to the west. See some other stuff. pause again. All right, so this is Yongsan Base. Again, open source, available on Google and Flight Sim, but this is used to be Yongsan Base. Actually, it still is Yongsan Base. It's been we pulled most assets out and we're giving the land back to the Korean government. But this is one of the main entryways in. This is the commissary gate here. This is the commissary there. And you come in through here, and you can tell this is Yongsan because this is the very large Korean history museum. This huge, sprawling, modern, gorgeous indoor museum. Highly recommend for anyone visiting Korea. And you come in past that, and you take a right, and you hit Dragon Hill Lodge, which is this big lodging facility here. It's actually, Dragon Hill Lodge is actually supposed to be around here, I believe. And then this is the big war memorial. Again, another massive sprawling indoor museum that covers pretty much every armed conflict Korea's been in. The two great museums co-located. So for now, Dragon Hill still exists, which is convenient because you can stay there and you get access to both museums within walking distance. Let's see. This would be Itaewon. Lots of bars and nightclubs and great restaurants. It's where all the army soldiers used to party back in the day. This is Seoul Station. You can recognize it by this like teal feature on the top roof. But Seoul Station is like Grand Central Station, where all the trains connect in Seoul. I actually just flew from Incheon Airport, and I landed Incheon way out here. I landed, somehow figured out how to get a train to Seoul Station, and then from there, that was one of the few places I could connect to get a train that took me all the way back to Pyeongtaek City. About an hour and a half train ride. Yeah. Alright, we're going to continue the flight. Head back up north. Alright, we're going to fly right over my favorite hiking destination. This is called Bukhansan Mountain. Great 3-hour hike total, 3 hours to summit and come back down. Close to the city, free parking or low-cost parking, and then they've got a bunch of food vendors at the base where you can buy kimbap. It's usually what the Koreans load up on, and you celebrate summiting by opening up your kimbap. This limestone colored side of the mountain here, that's your summit. And you hike to the top, and then you sit here on the edge and you eat your kimbap and you look out and you get this view of Seoul. It's just gorgeous if you do it on a clear day. But it's interesting because you sit on the edge of this thing, everyone's eating their kimbap. It's like 100 Koreans up there, and there's no guardrails or anything. And if you venture too far out, you will slide all the way down to your death. So, but that's really the most comfortable place to sit. So there's the summit right there. You have a Korean flag and a photo spot, not rendered in. A great hike, one of my favorite hikes, maybe my favorite hike ever. Great workout. Let's see what else we can see here. Alright, this is the city of Dongdaemun. That's Dongdaemun Design Plaza. It's this huge, futuristic looking, I don't know what, multi-purpose facility. Got like shops and small museums and stuff. It's odd, but very, very picturesque from the outside. This is the War Museum. Alright, we're flying out by Gimpo Airport. Alright, so we're going to fly over Gimpo Airport and then turn away from the airport and then request to land. Gimpo Airport's one of the smaller international airports. It's like a regional airport disguised as an international airport. I actually prefer flying into and out of there because it's just really simple and easy to get in and out of as far as security and customs inspections go. Alright, I'm gonna start my turn into the airport. I'm going to request landing. Should give us 32 right.
Gimpo Tower N236MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree is 7 miles southeast, 1,600 feet, with Charlie to land.
N236, MJ Mike Juliet, 12 tree, Gimpo Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal, 9er 2, wind calm, fly straight and runway tree 2 right.
Make straight in runway tree 2 right N236MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree.
Alright, make straight in. I have a tendency to fly too slow in my approaches. And when you're flying into a major international airport like this, you probably have some airliners behind you, so it's highly likely that the tower would ask you to go as fast as possible. So we're going to try to fly this quickly. I got a buddy in the 350, or he flies a King Air 200, and I think he normally approaches at 170 knots.
12 tree, wind calm clear to land runway tree 2 right.
Clear to land runway tree 2 right N236MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree.
Alright, I just activated an ILS approach. Just to see how well it works. Gears down. Flap set for landing. And it's kind of not bringing us straight in. It's descending down the glide slope, but not bringing us straight in. So we'll disengage autopilot and course correct. We're a little low. Alright, bang on. Right on the glide slope. Speed looks good. We're actually a little fast. We're going to try to bleed off some speed as safely as we can. Aim for the touchdown zone.
N236, MJ Mike Juliet, 12 tree, turn next taxiway. N236, MJ Mike Juliet, 12 tree, contact ground on 1 tree 1 decimal tree 75.
Going to 1 tree 1 decimal tree 75 N236MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree. Gimpo ground N236MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree, request taxi to parking.
N236, MJ Mike Juliet, 12 tree,
Let's turn our lights
general
off.
aviation parking via taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha N236MJ Mike Juliet 12 tree.
Flaps back up. Alright, we're gonna go condition levers down to low idle so we don't annoy the hell out of the marshalers. Alright, parking brake. Prop levers full down. Engines to fuel cutoff. Alright, engine shut down. Just turn off our lights. Auto ignition's off. Let's see. Pitot tube heat off. Generators off. Master avionics off. Not bad. 30 minutes flight, 37 minutes total. Batteries off. Alright. Parked at Gimpo.